Welcome home, Bitcoin truth seekers. It's Tuesday night, January 19th, 10:11 p.m. here in the Arizona desert. Bitcoin Daily View got some links for you. Okay, Yellen about Bitcoin FUD. Well, here's little Miss Yellen in her confirmation hearing says cryptocurrency crime of particular concern. Well, it all depends on what side of the fence you come down on and how you see things. Do you see that as good or bad what she's doing? I personally don't think that a transaction done between two human beings has to be seen by the uh, government, the technocracy, you could call it. We are free beings, we are sovereign beings. We can communicate and we can also transact, and we do not need to be regulated, monitored, and our transactions, our communication does not need to be regulated and approved. By these sketchy looking monsters. So, with that said, you've also got the Great Reset, something to take into account. Oh, before I mention that, just as far as Biden's administration being all crypto friendly, well, look at this. No, come on. Yellen is a deep stater. That's just the way it goes. And she ain't here to do anything other than bring forth the Great Reset. Klaus Schwab, the author of the book, The Great Reset, said the pandemic represents a rare but narrow window of opportunity to reflect, reimagine, and reset our world. If you haven't noticed, the Great Reset is a big deal. You might say, well, what is the Great Reset? Well, check out the interview that I linked to. David Devine interviewed an anonymous source, yes, but the guy was very, very good. He makes great points. I don't think that the guest David talked to is completely correct as far as the power to control that the deep state technocracy has. But still, powerful interview. With that said, Mark Moss here, very level-headed. He breaks down a little bit of a history lesson and talks about the Great Reset and basically the currency reset that is a part of that. Why fiat currencies would have to basically crumble along with commodity values, become stagnant, so that people to basically pay their bills have to go to a technocratic currency, like what's happening in China. At the same time, with Yellen making it clear, hey, deep state technocracy, let me give you a shout out here, here at my confirmation hearing, so much for the crypto-friendly administration. But with all that said, big money, Bitcoin shortage as Wall Street FOMO turns BTC whales into plankton. You got bigger and bigger players all the time. Grayscale bought 600 million in one day. They're buying, I think, like 18% more or 18x more Bitcoin than is actually mined per day. We have huge money going into Bitcoin and other cryptos, but mainly Bitcoin. Now Grayscale is starting to do GETH, Grayscale Ethereum. So also Goldman Sachs recently, there was a leak that they're going to look into custody of Bitcoin, of cryptos. And you've got, so basically, we've got big money, and I think we're only going to hear more and more as we go into 2021 of companies like, of course, MicroStrategy. Everyone knows that, but more and more companies that are hedging into Bitcoin because the Great Reset. Look, man, he wrote the book. Little Mr. Klaus wrote it, and they got the pandemic that they needed. They got their friggin' Reichstag fire that they needed to do whatever the hell they want, and they're doing it. So they're not playing. And so when you see things like this and you think, oh, well, maybe it's good because we need regulation because, that's how we make it a more of a world reserve currency. No, that's not. But her statement here, feel it in your heart, feel it in your natural human, beautiful imagination, and I should say really intuition. And if you still feel good when you ponder that, then you need to watch The Matrix a few times and realize that Neo's the hero, not Agent Smith, okay? So, great interview, great talk by Mark Moss here. Big money is buying it. What happens for entertainment purposes only when Elon Musk, who's been OTCing for probably like a month or two or longer, announces that, hey, I'm going to hedge into Bitcoin to protect my wealth. I mean, it's going to be like boom. Wait till somebody hip says it. I mean, Goldman Sachs, sure, they mentioned, hey, we're looking at custody. They've probably been OTC buying for a while. Before they actually made that leaked announcement, in my opinion. Entertainment purposes only, of course, but with that said, what happens when somebody hip like Joe Rogan or Elon Musk says they're hedging some wealth in? That's going to be a rocket ship to Pluto for crypto. So we've got big money on many different levels protecting themselves. So I think for this whole great reset, there's been a nod given, at least for the moment, entertainment purposes only, that it's a safe haven for when the great reset, and Mark Moss, this is a great interview to listen to, he just basically quotes and gives reference to, this is a plan. I mean, it's not a conspiracy. And he says that Bitcoin very well could be your number one asset to protect yourself. Listen to yourself and see what you think. Also, just interest in crypto itself. Bitcoin node count hits all-time high. You can run a Bitcoin node. You can be part of the network. It's a good way to have your own address. It's kind of fun, your own Bitcoin addresses you can make there. And do you realize that, talk about interest in Bitcoin. I like this guy, the Bitcoin Rabbi. He says a cool thing. If you're a Bitcoin hodler who does self-custody and runs a full node, then you are one of the world's leading blockchain experts. That's all you got to do. Check it out, man. Try running a node. It's badass. Anyway, and if you got questions on that, well, go over to Bitcoin Daily View. Join the conversation. I linked my the Telegram group for Bitcoin Daily View, and ask, hey, how do I do it? People might just help you out. It's a fun thing to do. But that is an extraordinary amount of interest in Bitcoin. We're actually seeing an all-time high node count, and a lot of those are just people running their nodes because it is most arguably a very secure way to help the Bitcoin truth-seeking, the Bitcoin peaceful revolution. It literally is, and it's a badass way to have a software wallet if you so desire. So with that said, I'm glad you're here, peaceful revolutionaries. Bitcoin Daily View. This is a big thing, and well, Janet, you've nailed your colors to the mast, and we know what you're about. And I don't believe for 1 second this is about anything good for Bitcoin. Take care. Talk to you tomorrow.